So I am beyond furious right now. I'm sure by now many of you have seen what this demented psycho posted on Truth Social, where he accused Democratic members of Congress of being traitors and suggested that they should be put to death. I'm going to read exactly what he wrote here in a minute, but I'm not furious because of what he wrote. I'm not angry because I expected better of him or something. This does not surprise me. I'm not furious that he posted that because it doesn't surprise me at all that he would post that. I am furious because we are here in the first place, that we are in this position with this deranged fucking psychopath sitting in the White House. I am furious at our fellow citizens who voted for this. Because yes, this is exactly what they voted for, whether they knew it or not. And many of them did. I mean, MAGAs are loving this shit. But a lot of people were too stupid to realize that this is what they were voting for. But it is what they were voting for. And so that's why I'm so damn furious. Because we shouldn't be here. But these people who voted for him, why? Because you thought the price of bread was too expensive? And you believed his bullshit promises that he would bring down the price of everything on day one? How's that going, by the way? Think that was a good vote now? Your bread is still just as expensive, if not more so, and we have a deranged lunatic in the White House threatening members of Congress with death. You think that was a good vote in retrospect? Anyway, all right, the reason I'm in the woods, number one, is because I've been so damn busy, I haven't been able to get out here much lately, but because it calms me. And if you see how angry I am right now, if I wasn't in the woods, I'd probably be worse. Now, let me get to exactly what's going on here. Why don't I play the video that got this all started? Because these members of Congress who are military veterans posted a video reminding members of the military that they have an obligation under the Constitution, under our laws, and pursuant to the oath they took to refuse illegal orders. That is their obligation. They must refuse illegal orders, and they cut a video reminding members of the military of that fact.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army.
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
So what's wrong with that video? Nothing. Absolutely nothing is wrong. Everything that they said is 100% accurate. But these MAGAs, over the last few days, have been losing their minds over this. They've been all over social media, in the podcast world, all of these right-wing, MAGA, insane places where these people talk to each other. They've been going crazy over this, accusing these members of Congress of being traitors, insurrectionists, seditionists, all of this, saying they should be arrested, all of that. And so Trump got in on the action, and here's what he wrote on Truth Social. The first thing he wrote was he linked to an article about this video, and he said, "This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand." And then in all caps, "Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up, President DJT." Then this piece of shit followed it up by writing in all caps, "Seditious behavior, punishable by death!" Exclamation point. He also reposted something that some anonymous MAGA fucking loser wrote. And this person wrote in all caps, "Hang them, George Washington would." Trump reposted that. So where do I begin? Well, it is important that these members of Congress said what they said. I've actually been making the case for months now that people in positions of authority, elected Democrats, should be saying exactly this, should be reminding members of the military that they are obligated not to follow illegal orders. Because Trump is giving them illegal orders, and we know he plans to give them much worse illegal orders in the future. And so that it's important to remind members of the military, you must refuse illegal orders. And I'll go a step further. They didn't do that in this video, but if you don't, and you follow illegal orders and you commit crimes in doing so, you can be prosecuted. That needs to be the message to members of the military, because they are going to get illegal orders, and many of them already have gotten illegal orders and followed them and exposed themselves to potential criminal prosecution at some point in time in the future. I've also been making the case that we should be warning not just members of the military, but members of law enforcement, that they can be prosecuted if they commit crimes on the orders of Donald Trump, specifically these ICE thugs who are committing crimes all over the damn place. Now, J.B. Pritzker did sort of make that point at one time, which was good, but this should be happening much more frequently. So this was good what they said. And it's important not just because it's all true and members of the military and law enforcement, but let's just deal with the military here, should be reminded of these truths, but also because no one else is going to tell them this. You know, the people to whom they can turn inside the military to get legal counsel about orders that they may find questionable are JAG officers. But what did Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth do at the beginning of the administration? They purged the military of a whole bunch of JAG officers, specifically because they do not want members of the military getting legal counsel, questioning these orders, and then seeking legal counsel as to whether or not they should follow these orders. So it's important that somebody tell them this stuff. And you know, it's not just Democrats who are questioning some of the orders that Trump has given. Members of his own party. Specifically, I'm thinking here of Trump's illegal and unconstitutional blowing up of boats in the Caribbean. There have been many Republicans in Congress who have questioned their legality. Rand Paul has, many others have. And with good reason. You know who else has questioned the legality of those strikes? Our ally, Great Britain. So concerned were they with what Donald Trump is doing down there that the British have now decided not to share intelligence with the United States about things going on in the Caribbean because they don't want their intelligence to be used by the United States to commit war crimes. What's going on down there is murder, and the Brits know it, and they say, count us out. We're not helping you. We don't want anything to do with it, with your war crimes. So this is serious stuff. And obviously, what they said is not treason, is not sedition, is not a crime in any way. And there are some people on the right who are, not many, most on the right are defending what Trump said. Those who know it's wrong and don't want to defend him aren't saying shit. But there are some people. Here's an example. I saw this tweet by Andy McCarthy, who is a former, I think he was a U.S. Assistant U.S. Attorney. And he's a Fox News contributor, legal analyst for Fox News. And he wrote, "There is no insurrection or sedition without the use of force. Disobeying a lawful order is insubordination, not insurrection or sedition. Disobeying an unlawful order is required. That is all." That's what he wrote. Did I say lawful order? Let me just read that again in case I fucked it up. I'm not sure if I did. He said, disobeying a lawful order is insubordination, not insurrection or sedition. Disobeying an unlawful order is required. Exactly what the members of Congress who made that video said. So why did Donald Trump do this? Aside from the fact that he's a dangerous, unhinged fucking psychopath. Well, one reason, because it can't be overlooked, because it motivates a lot of what he does. One reason is to distract from Epstein. If you hadn't noticed, there's a lot of Epstein shit going on right now, and it ain't good for him. So this is a perfect opportunity to distract from Epstein. And normally I would say, don't take the bait. Don't let him distract us from Epstein. But in this case, we should not ignore this. So that's one. But another reason he's doing this, I think, is because he needs the military to obey his illegal orders because of what him and Stephen Miller and the rest of these thugs in the White House are planning. You and I both know damn well he's not leaving voluntarily, especially if a Democrat wins in 2028. He's not going. They're scheming all different ways for him to stay in office. And I'm sure that one of those ways is to use the military to essentially stage a military coup with him as supreme leader to stay in power illegally. And in order for him to do that, he needs the military to obey illegal orders. So when these members of Congress are out there advising, reminding members of the military of their oaths and their legal obligation to their legal obligation to refuse illegal orders. He can't have that. He can't have that. He needs to make sure that they're going to obey his illegal orders. What else here do I have? But we need this to backfire, because if his intent is to quash this and send a message to members of the military, you will obey my orders, we need to make this backfire. We need to give this more attention. We need to use the fact that he has now posted these unhinged posts on Truth Social. We need to call more attention to this, to the illegal orders that he has already given, and to the legal obligation members of the military, and we should expand it to law enforcement, their legal obligation to refuse his illegal orders in the future. We need to make sure this gets lots of attention. So maybe it's a good thing if we can use this to further amplify the message of that video, to make sure everyone understands in the military that you are not to obey illegal orders. Okay, so I think I dealt with well enough with that. Let me say this. How fucking dangerous is this? Wasn't it? Seems to me that it wasn't all that long ago that we were being lectured by these MAGA Republicans about dangerous rhetoric. Remember when Charlie Kirk was killed? We were lectured about dangerous rhetoric. Here we have the President of the United States saying that members of Congress, and of course a damn friggin' plane has to go over right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's annoying the shit out of me. Focus, dude. Oh yeah. So we were lectured about dangerous rhetoric, and here they are all defending Donald Trump and echoing Donald Trump and saying that members of Congress, just for stating facts, are traitors, seditionists, and that they should be arrested and that they should be put to death. By the way, go ahead and arrest them. Go ahead and arrest them. Indict them for treason. Indict them for sedition. You know what? Those indictments will never see a trial. The judge would dismiss those immediately. They wouldn't even get a trial. The reason is because when you lay out an indictment, you say what the charge is and you say what the facts are that support the charge. What facts would you say support the charge of treason? What they said in this video? On its face, even if you proved those facts as true, that's not a crime. And because the indictment would fail to even allege facts that would be a crime, even if they were true, a judge would just immediately dismiss those. So go ahead. Arrest him for treason. Make the point. Make our point that you're an authoritarian fascist thug. Go ahead. Further make that point for us. But beyond that, how fucking dangerous is this? We already know that MAGA, the MAGA cult, is made up of countless dangerous lunatics. We saw it on January 6th. We've seen many examples of this. People have been killed by these psychos. And here Donald Trump is putting a target on the backs of every one of those members of Congress and telling his cult, those people are traitors. They should be put to death. You don't think it's possible that some of these psychos might take those as orders from Trump? Take their own initiative to carry out Donald Trump's wishes and try to kill those people? This is as dangerous as it gets. What is it gonna fucking take to impeach and remove this piece of shit from office? And you know, it's not even talked about. I mean, I know, don't get me wrong, I know he's not going to be impeached and removed right now. And I've told you many times, the only way that's going to happen is if members of Congress are more afraid of us than they are of Donald Trump. But the fact that it's not even talked about, why would the American people think that any of this is impeachable? Anything that he's done, the countless crimes he's committed, bribery, extortion, all kinds of things, murder, just since January, it's not even been a year. Why would the American people think any of those things are impeachable offenses if no people in positions of authority are even calling it out as an impeachable offense, even talking about it? Anyway, what is it going to freaking take? Is it going to take some of these deranged MAGAs to read Trump's comments and go out and murder one of these members of Congress? Is that what it's going to take? Does a member of Congress or someone else literally need to be murdered because of something Donald Trump said before we impeach and remove this dangerous psycho from office? Or would that not do it either? Let's face it, that probably wouldn't do it either. Again, the reason I'm so fucking angry, not because he said it, nobody's surprised, but because our fellow citizens fucking voted for this. This man, look, here's our options. He's either impeached and removed from office, the sooner the better, because as long as he is president, the potential for him to do untold damage to this country, to individual people's lives, maybe get them killed, that is there. With him having that power, I mean, he's dangerous no matter what. Even if we remove him from office, he can still tweet or whatever. He's still dangerous. But as president, not only is he a dangerous psycho, just because he is, but he also has the power of the presidency behind him, which makes him exponentially more dangerous. So we can either impeach and remove him from office, or we're going to have to remove him probably by force at some point. Especially if a Democrat wins in 2028, because he's not leaving. So we deal with him and remove him now, or we remove him later, after he's done much more damage to this country. And then whatever we're going to have to go through to get him the hell out. He's leaving. He's going, one way or the other. He will not be around forever. He will not be around much longer. The question is, how much more damage are we going to let this criminal piece of shit do to this country before he's gone? How much more damage are we going to let this criminal thug do before we deal with it? I can't believe... What must people around the world be thinking, looking in from the outside? The United States of America, this is going on. Unfreaking believable. All right. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.